Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews, and today we are back for the third time within a week to let you know that Mattel has created yet another new paint variant of a figure. It seems like they are just relentless anymore when it comes to doing this, and this time they've, basically attacked both gigantic trackers. Last time we had only one that was different, which was the Triceratops. This time we had the Maposaurus as well as the Bajadasaurus, which you can very clearly see here. And that means that basically the entire wave of gigantic trackers now has two different color variants out for the figure. This is the newest variant that we are taking a look at right now. And looking at it right away, you may not even notice the differences because this one isn't quite as obvious as it is with the Maposaurus. But we're just going to pop this out of the box. We'll jump straight to a closer look and I'll show you the differences from there. So again, here is the newest variant, which I would imagine is going to be the more common variant moving forward. And then we can bring up the older variant. Now again, straight out of the gate, you might not instantly notice the differences, but I can, immediately start seeing differences, not just in the color, but in the actual patterning. But if you get nice and close, you can see this newest version when it comes to the coloration of the lower body is way more pink than the more kind of tan that we had on the previous version. And once you hold the two together, I feel like you can really see again that there is a major difference in the overall tone of color used on the new one compared to the older one. The eyes are the same color, but you will also notice that the patterning in the face is drastically different. The coloration now overtakes the entire top of the head, moving down into the mouth area. And again, if you look at the older one, it was much more kind of broken up. It moves over and around the eye and then down through the center of the head. But I almost knocked my backdrop over, but if you look at them from up above, you can very clearly see again a massive difference in the way that the patterning looks and stuff in that area. As you continue to move down through the course of the dinosaur, you'll also notice that the way that the colors kind of pattern back and forth is different just pretty much everywhere. As you move down through the side of the dinosaur, it looks very, very different the entire way down. Once you get closer to like the shoulder area, it looks like maybe it matches up a little bit better. Let me go ahead and readjust them here, but as you move into the stomach, you can yet again see a good bit of difference when it comes to the way that the patterning works. Like the patterning comes down and then kind of like loops back up right here. You don't see that on this version. It was a bit different when it comes to that over here. And then as we move out into the tail, we'll see if it differs. Actually the tail looks pretty much the same to me. I don't really notice much of anything as far as the difference goes there. But then when we turn them around, again, take a look at the heads, you can very clearly see, again, a really big difference when it comes to the tone of color as well as the patterning in the head. And same deal, honestly, as we move down the neck, you can see the patterning, again, looks very different on both versions, very, very much so different. And then even continuing down into the body, if you look at the newer version, there's just more of the lighter tone kind of up here in the body compared to what we see on the older version, and the patterning in general is a bit more complex than what we had seen on the older version. Moving into the stomach as well, again, very, very different when it comes to the overall coloration. On top of that, there's also another very obvious difference in case you didn't take notice to it already. The spines on the back of the neck originally were a very dark gray. The newer one has a much lighter gray. So this one, although the tones of color aren't as drastic, is a good bit more different, I think, than even the Maposaurus was, because the patterning is a lot more different on this one compared to what we had seen on the Maposaurus. It was just like a little bit different on the Maposaurus, but the overall way that the color looks on this one, again, is honestly a lot different. So outside of that, I don't think there's really much more that needs to be said. Everything as far as the figure goes is the same. Like, it's the same sculpt, it's the same action features and all of that stuff, same articulation, just different paint apps. And again, to the naked eye, if you're not really inspecting the figures, you might just think that they are instantly the same. But obviously, when you get nice and close and really dive into the two of them, there are some pretty obvious differences between the two. So as per usual, if you are a variant collector like I am, make sure you head to your local Walmart or Target. I seem to only be finding the older ones still at my Target, but the Walmarts near me all have the newer ones. So if you are lucky enough to have a Target and a Walmart near you, maybe you can get lucky enough to grab both variants while they're out if you haven't yet. And if you're only looking for the new variant, again, I would recommend Walmart, but I have heard of people finding them at Target too. So it's just basically, I think it just comes down to luck if you can find both. But again, make sure you check those stores, grab it if you want it, and like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.